Hi, and welcome to Terri Talks. I have Richard Hughes from Seer 365. Hi, Richard. How's it going?
Hi, good to see you again, Terry.
Pleasure. Hey, I am really kind of excited. We're getting ready to go to Directions North America, where we have a lot on our agenda this year, attending a lot of different events. But I was getting like this traction with working with, especially the RFP process that you all are providing. And I kind of wanted to get some more information. So can you talk a little bit about Seer and this RFP and what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. So, for those of you who don't know Seer, we're an ISV that was founded by a team of people who used to run the largest Dynamics partner in the UK. And really, we get up every morning and try and make the life better for Microsoft Dynamics partners and also their customers to try and make the whole process more efficient. Now, one of those things is the RFP process, and we know how difficult it is for partners around the world to complete RFPs. I'm also very aware that most people do their level best never to do one, but certainly in different industries or different countries, it's very prevalent, and you kind of have to. So what we thought was, how can we use the underlying platform, so our GYDE 365 platform, along with the generative AI capabilities that Microsoft provide, to try and streamline and optimize the RFP completion process. And also, the thing that I think is important to recognize as well is the repeatability. So what we're certainly not doing is creating the first ever RFP response tool that's been them forever. I guess Excel being the most popular, but there are definitely tools out there to do it
Right.
that pull stuff from SharePoint or whatever. But what we've really tried to do is to create a platform designed specifically for Microsoft Dynamics partners to use for their RFPs. So what happens is you receive an RFP. You then ingest the RFP into our GYDE 365 RFP Copilot tool. You ingest it in. It then pulls out all the questions that you need to answer. Now, you could have done that previously, but what is new is actual looking at the questions and suggesting answers based on Microsoft Dynamics. And just for clarity, I do mean all of Dynamics, so Business Central, Finance, Supply Chain Management, and Customer Engagement.
Okay.
Suggest answers to those questions, and those answers we keep up to date as Microsoft add or deprecate functionality. You are then able to take all those answers and questions, put it into the wider Discover application on the GYDE platform, and it will then do all those calculations that you need. So, are you looking at services as an example? We can calculate the services. One of the other benefits is we're able to then have additional questions which the customer who issued the RFP may not have thought of. So if you have the ability, and you can't always, but if you do have the ability, you can go back to the customer and ask some additional questions, showing your depth of knowledge around that topic. Now, one of the other things I just want to highlight here as well is people are talking about the RFP completion, RFP Copilot that we've built, but it's not just for RFP documentation. So
Okay.
a really good use case that Microsoft are using at the moment is through transcripts. So we're having a call now. I could have turned on transcripts. It would then take the information from the transcript and put it through the tool. So if you're having a customer conversation, record the call as many of you would do as normal. You can then take that transcript, and where the customer said, I'm really looking to have help with my sales process. I'm looking to automate tagging accounts to opportunities or whatever it looks like, then it would do that for you as well. So although we're calling it RFP, and that's certainly where we started from, it's also any additional documentation that you can add.
So Copilot's kind of like really integrated within the actual program
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So
Wow.
we're actually using the same. I'm gonna have to be careful how I say these things now. Lots of NDAs are now flipping through my head.
Yeah.
But there's a Microsoft program that are looking to work with some of the larger Dynamics customers on the CE side, and we're actually using Copilot and the transcripts and our Discover process to really speed up that decision process for the customer, whether or not CE is the right product for them. I think I managed to say that without breaking any NDAs. I think I did all right
Okay.
on that one.
Hopefully. So yeah, I think it's important for partners to understand that even though it's an RFP process, I think that this whole qualifying and doing this whole entire preparation for an end customer is an advantage to the end customer not to miss anything within their ERP selection and to enhance the capability of their all the operations throughout the ERP implementation to be, I mean, at its best. And how long is the process usually to go through with an end customer? I mean, from, let's say, beginning to end, what does that dialogue
So
look like?
to go through that pre-sales requirements gathering process. So really depends on the customer.
Right.
But I would say for a mid-market, or in Microsoft terms, SMC customer, we're probably looking at between 8 to 12 hours in there, depending on the product. So if it's an F&O deal with lots of modules doing lots of manufacturing, warehousing, procurement, logistics, whatever, that might take a bit longer than somebody that's doing a maybe more basic system. SMB is certainly smaller, so that's probably 4 to 6, and then enterprise. I think the largest one we did that I can talk about publicly is Imperial Tobacco, Imperial Brands. That was across 30 something countries. I think it was like 35, 36 countries, and elapsed time was 2 weeks. But the amount of effort we think was around 16 hours. So it depends on the customer, but certainly my record was a UK government body, and the UK government is not known for its speed, but they managed to complete all the requirements gathering and to come up with a fit gap analysis, services estimate, and licensing costs with TCOs and everything else in less than 24 hours. So that's my record on one side. And then we've had other customers that take longer, but that's very much down to them.
Right.
But certainly we try and recommend within 2 week period. That's
So utilizing this could actually gain a lot of ROI for partners. I mean, when you look at it in the end game, because they can actually utilize this as their first engagement with that particular customer.
Absolutely. So I think it brings a lot of things. ROI is definitely one of them. Cost of sale has significantly gone up. I think I'm in my 22nd year of doing Dynamics at this point. And certainly back then, the cost of sale was different, right? So a partner would typically sell a Dynamics product. So it wasn't even Dynamics back then, it was Microsoft Business Solutions, for those of you watching this, been around for a while. So you would sell Nav or GP or Solomon or whatever it was back in the day. That's what you'd sell. Yeah. Now, and you would get a lot of margin. So certainly back then, you would get close to the 50% margin on the software you sell, right? And it was all up front. You get a check from the customer. Everybody go out and have a very nice meal. But on the other side, now you're selling potentially multiple products at the same time. It's more of a solution. The margin you're getting as a partner has dramatically reduced, sort of less than 20%. But your cost of sale has gone up. So your margin has gone down, but your cost of sale has gone up. So where I think is really beneficial is the ability to be more efficient. So you can have, rather than one salesperson or one pre-sales person working on maybe 3 opportunities at a time, you can work on more. But also the repeatability. And I think the repeatability is a really important piece here, right? So so rather than, if I've got Terri, the pre-sales person, she's amazing, she rocks, she knows everything about her industry, she knows everything about the product, and she does a wonderful job of really understanding the customer's requirements. And we know that your estimate at the end of it will be amazing. Then you've got Richard, the pre-sales guy, who's lazier than Terri, and isn't as knowledgeable, doesn't ask all the questions you should do,
Okay.
and then my answers would be different to yours for the same customer. So as now you can have that repeatability. So I take the information from Terri's mind, put it into, in addition to the questions we've already got as part of a core product,
Mhm.
and then you know that it will be a Terry level engagement on every prospect that you work with. So I think that repeatability is there, but certainly the efficiency and the ROI. Now, in addition, an additional area of ROI is one of our outputs, or sorry, I should say one of our output types is
Okay.
the partner engagement funding. So partner engagement funding is where you tell Microsoft, I'm going to be working with Coca-Cola, right? I'm working with
Mhm.
Coke. Um, so here's my opportunity. You put it into Partner Center. For those of you who don't know how to do that, just ping me an email and I'll spend 5 minutes with you showing you how to do it. It's not as complex as everybody thinks. Put it in
Excellent.
there. You then use that opportunity, the opportunity ID, to then say to Microsoft, I'm working with Coke and I've got a CRM opportunity or an ERP opportunity, and I want to do a partner engagement with them that's funded by Microsoft. And depending on the engagement, on the top end, you're now talking about $18,000 per opportunity. And then I think it's like 5,000 for one of the smaller ones, all based on the annual software value of that customer. So now to do that, you need what's referred to as a proof of execution, a POE. Now
Okay.
these POEs can be a bit of a PIA. But what we've done is a customer goes through Discover, they answer a few additional questions, and then the output is a automated proof of execution that you can then upload to claim that funding. Now, to put it in context, depending on the customer and depending on which activity with Microsoft, that is literally saving days and days of effort and frustration for your team. So that's a very popular thing, and we actually work directly with Microsoft on that to make sure it meets their approval, for
Right.
the format and all that, and we use
Hmm.
their PowerPoint decks to do that. So we've got a very, very high success rate of them being accepted. Now, as Microsoft changed them, so again, back to NDA time, there may be some changes next fiscal, next
Right.
Microsoft fiscal, and we're already talking to them about what that would look like, so we can update our POE to reflect that.
Well, that's great. Richard, I just really want to take the time to say thank you. I mean, this was quite informative. And I think that, the partners are really missing out if they're not taking a look at the Guide 365. I mean, I have it on my website. Of course, you can go directly to Seer 365 and look at the Guide 365. Reach out to Richard. You're welcome to reach out to me. Richard, I can't wait to see you in Vegas. I know that that's coming up. Seer's going to be there and present, and looking forward to seeing you all there.
Absolutely, we're
And
throwing a party as always.
yes,
And
that's always
then if
wonderful.
anybody's not going to Vegas, just whilst I'm here, I know we're going to be at certainly one of my favorite events of the year, Dynamics Minds in Slovenia. So we'll be
Excellent.
there.
Yes.
We're actually sponsoring the bar, so that'll
Oh,
give you an
there you
idea
go.
of that'll give you an
I'm really
idea of
excited about that.
yeah, that's a good event. And then we've got other big events throughout the year. So Directions EMEA later on in the year, etc. So we're at most big Dynamics. Oh, Dynamics Directions Asia as well will be there. So
Yeah.
if you're there, come and find us.
So I'll see Richard in Vegas and in Slovenia and in Asia this year. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of activities we'll be doing together. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time today. And if you have not, as a partner, looked at SEER 365, Guide 365, it's time you do. ROI is there for you. All right. Thank you, Richard.
thanks, Terry. Thanks, everybody.